Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Buffalo Sports Center. I am Don, and today we are going to very quickly and efficiently recap the Buffalo Bills 2023 NFL Draft picks. It was a very topsy-turvy draft. For instance, was very displeased on Thursday night about our first round pick, which I get to very shortly. But as the draft went on, I started to like it. And there was a concerted effort by the scouts, by general manager Brandon Beane. A lot of these prospects, you will notice that unlike the last couple of seasons prospects, they are here ready to make an impact for this team now. They are not necessarily project prospects. They are more so immediate impact. And before I get into all of that, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Let's first talk about the Bills' first round pick. They traded up to get tight end Dalton Kincaid. Like I said, he's a tight end from Utah. And I really was not a fan of this pick when we first made it. I thought there were plenty of other needs on the board, such as a linebacker, defensive tackle, wide receiver. Maybe we traded down to accumulate more picks. Instead, the Bills traded up 2 picks, leapfrogged the Dallas Cowboys, and got Kincaid. And like I said, it did not feel good at first, but as I've thought about it and as I've let it stew a little bit, I realized getting Kincaid was a very good pickup for the Bills. The Bills now have 2 capable, good, pass-catching tight ends, and there's been a very big void behind Dawson Knox over the last couple of seasons. It's just been Knox at the tight end position. There has been no depth for as long as I can remember at that position. So getting Kincaid in the first round, a very good problem now the Bills have, where they have a 2-headed monster at the tight end group. So that's good. Another good thing is that Kincaid is a very good pass catcher. He had one of the highest 50-50 catch ratios over the whole college ball scene last fall. He is very good at getting separation as well. Good speed off the line of scrimmage. He's a very impressive athlete, although he's not a great blocker, which is why I think a lot of people are kind of confused for this pick. Because for the last couple of years, our number 2 tight end usually, whether that be Quentin Morris or a couple of other guys, Tyler Croft too, they were here mainly to block on running plays. Kincaid doesn't really do that. That's not in his repertoire. Instead, he's a very big catch guy. Seam routes are fantastic. Good speed, good angles, good IQ on the field as well. I'm really liking this pick, and if you were to ask me what my grade were to be on the draft night that this occurred, I would have given you a C+. Now, I've really sweetened up on this guy. I think I'm going to give him an A- here for this pick. All right, let's keep on moving now, folks. The second pick for the Bills of 6 in this draft, they went with guard O'Cyrus Torrence, and I believe this was the Bills' best pick this draft. He was an absolute steal at pick 59, too. He had a first-round grade. I saw a couple mock drafts where he was going at 23, 24, that kind of range. No, he fell all the way to 59, and it's mainly because he's a very scheme-specific guard. He does well in zone blocking, not so much in man blocking, not very good in that. Fortunately for the Bills, they are in a zone blocking scheme, so that's good. This guy, Torrance, also a physical freak. He is humongous. I think he was like 6'6", almost 300 pounds. So he is a behemoth of a man. He's got a powerful frame, great length as well. He has good body control, especially if he were to get out of position on certain plays. And his core, like I said, his strength is phenomenal. He's also got very good footwork, which is huge for an offensive lineman. We've seen a couple of guys, namely Spencer Brown, who have subpar footwork, and they can't really get off the ground running because that's one of the biggest parts, obviously, of being a lineman. Not only it's your stance, it's also your footwork, it's your hand abilities and being able to guard yourself, not only yourself, but the quarterback behind you or the running back. And also very good for him and good for the Bills is that O'Cyrus, he's a very, very good run blocker, so that could be huge. And like I said, this was my favorite pick from this draft class. I really liked what Brandon Beane found. Good value at pick 59 in O'Cyrus Torrence. Give me an A on this one. And we keep on moving now to arguably the weirdest and most puzzling pick of this draft. So it went from two solid picks to now a what? Uh-huh. At pick 91, the Bills selected Dorian Williams, linebacker from Tulane. And it was just strange because I'm not saying that Williams is a bad linebacker. It's just that he's not a middle linebacker. And I thought the Bills would have especially wanted to go after a middle linebacker in the draft since they, of course, lost Tremaine Edmonds. It's kind of weird that then post-draft, in his press conference, Brandon Beane talks about how Dorian Williams is probably going to start his career out as a weak side linebacker. We already have a weak side linebacker. We have Matt Milano, and last year we drafted Terrell Bernard. He's another weak side guy. I guess maybe he can transition into the middle linebacker role. Maybe Sean McDermott can develop him. But I'm very puzzled and confused by this one. There wasn't a necessary need. I'm sure the grade was high amongst the scouts and the executive branch of the Bills organization, but still, he's a weak side linebacker, and the Bills needed a middle linebacker. We did not need another weak side guy. So I'm just confused. I will keep an open mind with Dorian Williams. It's just another weird, puzzling pick in the middle of the draft. So for this one, I'm going to give the Bills a C+. All right, keep on moving now into the 5th round here. The Bills traded back out of round 4, accumulated some more picks for the 2024 draft, which is a good thing because the Bills are going to be even more cap held then. Here in round 5, when they picked again, they got wide receiver Justin Shorter from Florida. He's another Gator, just like Osiris Torrence. And Shorter, I think this is a very intriguing pick. He strikes me very much the same way that Gabe Davis strikes me. Big body guy, not great speed, but he is a vertical threat. And his pass catching abilities, not so clutch, not all the time. And he had solid production in college. It's just that he wasn't consistent enough, which is why he fell to the 5th round and probably what should have been, if he had decent production, he could be definitely a 2nd rounder given how good his quarterback and offensive line were at college. He lacks deep speed, like I mentioned, but he's got long arms, a quick release off the line of the scrimmage. His hand-eye coordination is very good, although that doesn't translate into more catches for him. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him early this upcoming season at a special teams role. I think he will be the 5th wide receiver on the roster. It doesn't look like the Bills are going to go for DeAndre Hopkins anymore, which is unfortunate. Boo-hoo. I was hoping they would. But Shorter, I think he's a very intriguing prospect for the Bills. And for that, I've been going back and forth in this pick. Sometimes I feel like a C+, other times I'm going to go with a B-, but, this time I'm going to pick B- for this pick. Second last pick, Bills again traded back in the draft. They didn't pick again till the 7th round, pick 230, where they got Nick Broeker, offensive guard from Ole Miss. He's another versatile offensive lineman, not defensive lineman. And that's probably his biggest attribute. He is an absolute Swiss Army knife. He can play at the tackle position. He can play as a guard on either side. So that's definitely why Brandon Beane wanted him. Brandon Beane has a track record of going after versatile flex option guys, flex offensive linemen, actually, that can play any position on the line, cost-effective, versatile, easy to stick, plug and play wherever they want. And for that, I think Broker's got a chance to make the team, but with some of the other competition, namely Devin Quessenberry, Osiris Torrence, Ryan Bates, Ike Bedker, it's going to be very tough for him to make the team. He's going to have a very good training camp. All right, let's finally talk here about the final pick from the draft. Oh, and by the way, I would give Nick Broeker a B, solid B. And I would also give Alex Austin, cornerback from Oregon State, another B. I'll go B-, just because he doesn't have as much frame as some of the other top cornerbacks in this draft. He's a good project prospect, but I don't see him making the roster. He could make the practice squad. I know the Bills want value from each of their draft picks, no matter what round they got picked in, no matter what their pick number was. Austin is he's a snappy, energizing, quick, fast cornerback, but he has a little tough time reading the play. He opens his hips up a little too much. He doesn't read the eyes of the quarterback all too well. But there is very good opportunity for him here in Buffalo. He can definitely snag another special team spot. He's got some great coaches, so I feel like he could definitely develop. And a reminder, folks, a 7th-round pick doesn't necessarily mean they're off the roster. Look at Dane Jackson, another 7th-round cornerback that made the team and is still here in Buffalo. So Alex Austin, it doesn't, even though he was picked late in the 7th round, this doesn't mean that he's not going to make the team. So, folks, that was my recap of the Buffalo Bills 2023 NFL Draft. Overall, I would give this draft class, I liked this one much better than I initially did for last year's draft class. Last year, I would have given them like maybe a C+. This year, I'm going to go with a solid B. Kincaid and Osiris Torrence are definitely the highlight of this 6-man class. I wasn't too thrilled about the Dorian Williams pick. I thought that Justin Shorter, Nick Broeker, and Alex Austin picks were very solid as well. So for that, the Bills get a B. I can't wait to see these guys grow in training camp over the summer, and hopefully they all make the team. We shall see. But folks, let me know your thoughts on this draft class in the comments section down below. And before you leave, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I was Don. This is Buffalo Sports Center. I hopefully will see all of you in the next video. Peace out, everyone.